Welcome back to Connected. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's Destiny and Jaedyn.
Yeah.
It is roasting in here. Okay, so
It's only gonna
today...
get hotter. So
Yeah.
sorry if we complain.
No, we ain't gonna complain. Our breathing may just get heavier.
Wait, I'm gonna grab my chapstick. Actually, will that ruin it?
Okay. Today is a Q&A episode, and we asked you guys to ask us questions through Instagram. So we're going to do our best to answer them. Sometimes it's hard because they're on the spot and we haven't really thought of them at all. So let's get straight into it. Also, I hope you're having a wonderful summer.
Yeah.
And a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Let's get into it and ask Jaedyn the first question. So, if you could describe your... Bro. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, Jaedyn, first question now. Answer. Ready?
Yes.
If you could describe your relationship with if you could describe your relationship with the Lord with one word, what would it be? Be honest. Explain why.
I would say confident, because for the first time in my life, I am like fully confident in God. Like, I've always had like faith in Him, and I've always known that He could do it, but I'm believing now that He can do it and like has a plan and a purpose for my life, and that it's good, and that like even if a hard time comes, I know that God will be there to get me out or get me through, you know? Like, I'm just so confident in His ability to do literally anything.
I like that. For me, the word that comes to mind is evolving, because I think I'm still growing. Well, we're always still growing, but I think right now I need a little more growth, because I think at sometimes I feel a little distant, but then at times I feel closer, but that's because I'm not putting in as much effort as I should. So, but I definitely do feel like my faith has grown and my trust in the Lord has grown. Like, I know that no matter what, even if it doesn't go my way, it's going to be turned for good, and that it's going to work out, even if I can't see it. And I think that's something that I've learned like this past like beginning of this year. And yeah, so now it's your turn to ask a question.
What is something you would tell your 10, 12, 15-year-old self?
Oh goodness. Great question. What was I even doing at 10, 15? Maybe just something like, don't let fear hold you back from doing what you want to do, and just take a step out of your comfort zone and trust in God's plan even when it doesn't make sense, and all those times that it didn't look like it was going good, or I felt really sad, that everything's going to work out, and that just wait on His timing.
That's good.
Yeah. What would you say?
I would say it's not all on you. Like, you don't have to carry this by yourself. Like, you can lean on the people around you, especially just like my 12 to 15-year-old self, really, just because I felt like I was just carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, like, so alone, and I felt like I couldn't ask for help. So I would say like ask for help. Like, it's okay if you're sad. Like, it's okay to show your emotions through to other people. Like, this is a normal experience. Like, don't carry it all on your own.
That's good. I like that. I can't even remember.
What?
Like
your times?
Yeah. Like, what grade are you even in?
6th.
Oh. Okay. Next question. What is something you hope to grow in for the rest of the year?
I would say acting out my actions, like being intentional for things. Like, we discussed this, did we?
Maybe. I think in the gratitude one.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Just like being intentional about what I do, and then like acting in it, because like I'll think of something and then just like not do anything about it. So it's like putting actions behind my intentions. So
I like that. That's a good one. Maybe being more patient with others and like myself. Not being so hard on myself, and knowing that like it's okay. I don't have to be perfect. Or just I like how you said intentional, being more intentional. Oh my gosh, sorry. Being more intentional with my time with the Lord. Yeah, that's probably my main one. Because I felt like at the time when we did the Holy Habits one, I was doing really good at reading my real Bible. And then I feel like, if I'm being 100% honest, my Bible had a little dust on it the other day when I was cleaning my room. I'm like, oh, you're dusty. Because I haven't been reading out of that Bible. And then I was just slacking on devotion, doing my devotionals. And so I would definitely say spending more time with the Lord.
I would agree with that too.
I think that's something that we can all work on. Okay.
What habit or hobby? Sorry. What is a habit or hobby you want to pick up?
A habit? I want to learn Spanish. So really using the Spanish app I have that gives me a notification every day at 6 p.m. to do Spanish, and I never do it. Or just a habit of waking up early and ooh. A habit I want to get into is stinking working out. It is not, guys. I just know some people, like, you guys have so much fun working out, but I'm just like, ugh, I don't like being hot. I don't like getting sweaty. But I think we used to go, me and Jaedyn, at 5:30, we'd wake up every morning and we'd go to the gym, and that was really fun. So I think just maybe moving my body more. I like that. That's a habit. And then what was the other one? A hobby?
Yeah.
I feel like I want to do more learning, like, I think photography would be really cool, but editing. Like, I know like surface level of editing, but really getting into editing. Like, how sick would that be?
Pretty cool.
Or everyone always makes fun of me, scrapbooking. And that's probably really easy,
I think you'd be really good at that.
but I think that would be fun.
You have an eye for things like that.
Or just, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting carried away. Jaedyn, what about you?
Say habit.
Give me a habit and
Okay. That's
whatever
fine, too.
the other word is.
I would say.
Why is my sister FaceTiming us? Should we make her say hi? Okay, guys, she's on the phone. She said she'll say hi. You want to give a wave? Okay, we're back. Was it my turn?
Okay, no, it's mine.
Oh.
I didn't say my habit or
Oh.
hobby.
See, I don't even remember.
I would say that my habit I want to do is getting up early and reading my Bible early, like in the morning, right when I get up. But then also that means I need to be home before I get home, like every night, because I go to bed so late because I'm here with Destiny till like 11 every night. And I get home and it's like 1:30, and then I have to go ready for bed, and then I get up in the morning, and then I'm like, it's this whole process. But I would say my habit would be getting up early and reading my Bible, like, right in the morning, just boom, starting my day off like that. And then my hobby, maybe writing cursive. That just came to my mind right this very second. I've never thought of that before in my life. But I don't know how to write cursive, guys. I never learned.
That's crazy to me because I learned. And I'm only a year older than you.
Yeah, but I remember doing it for like a week in elementary school, and then that's it. Or maybe like sewing. Ooh, yep, that's it. I want to get into sewing because you know it's been all over my For You page lately. Is like these people, they're sewing like huge quilts. I'm like, that would be so cool. Okay, sewing it is. Scrap cursive. I don't care about that.
When you think of the word love, what comes to mind?
Well, Jesus comes to mind, just like first, point blank. But I would say like sacrifice, like love is giving up things that like you don't necessarily want to do, but like doing it for someone else. So would you say like love and like love is an action too, like being active in love.
Sorry, guys, you just hurt my nails. We're connected because I was gonna say it being an action, but also like being selfless and putting others before yourself.
We're so connected. Connected. Destiny. What is the hardest thing about growing up being a pastor's daughter and the best part?
When I saw this question, I was like, why? Okay. One, I would definitely say, I always mess up when I'm saying that word. I think the best part is just the church family I have around me. Ever since I was a little girl, I just knew. I don't know. That yeah, that they cared for me and that they had my back and like they were just always there for me and just they're so loving. And I know they like truly care about my parents and then my family and my siblings. So that would definitely be one for the best part. Worst part? I don't know. Maybe just you are kind of, I don't know,
Just say it.
set to a different standard, you know?
Put it in a different spotlight.
Because it's like, oh, you're the pastor's kid. So probably that, the unsaidness, the pressure you kind of feel because you do feel pressure having to act a certain way. That's probably, but also even like, you know how they put pressure on the pastor? Well, it's like we're human too. Just because my dad has the title of pastor and I'm his kid doesn't mean I'm not going to make mistakes and doesn't mean I'm perfect. And I think people just put you in a box.
Yeah.
So that would probably be my least favorite part of it. How do you navigate? Ooh, this is a good question. How do you navigate friendships as a young person with those who are unbelievers?
I would say being like staying true, make sure that you stay true to who you are in your beliefs. Because if you're not strong in your beliefs and you know that being around unbelievers or people who like act in ways of the world, it's very easy to be who your friends are. So if I'm hanging out with people who aren't doing that, like who aren't living Christ like lives, then it's going to be easy for me to act like them. So one is making sure that you're strong in your faith in your foundation, that your feet are planted on the rock and or in God if like you don't understand that yet. And two, like just showing love to them, really just being so loving and like showing God's love and grace towards them and while also staying like being firm in who you are, you know, like cuz just by how you live and your actions is gonna show Christ. Like if you're living a Christ-like life, your actions will reflect that, you know? So when you're different, when you're being set apart from them because you're not acting like that, but you're still showing them love and you're still showing them grace, yet you're not wavering to what they're doing, it shows that shows who Christ is.
Yeah, I would say being your authentic self and like she said, not falling into the things that they do because if you stick to your standards and like follow what you truly believe, then they'll know. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like they just know, like, oh, Jaedyn would never do that because of the standard she sets for herself. And also, I like what you said about just loving them because I look back in my life at friends that weren't believers, and just by showing them, you don't have to be like, oh, I believe this or this is the right way. This is the right way. Just your love and your actions and the way you treat them will show them. That's just a little glimpse of Jesus in their life and they'll be like, why are they so different? Like, oh my gosh, I want what they have. And then they'll realize that that's Jesus, yeah, within you. Also, I would say it kind of also, when I hear this question, it reminds me of Jesus, how he didn't pick like his disciples.
The
Yeah,
Pharisees and stuff, they're just
his disciples were
broken
normal,
people.
broken people. And I think sometimes I feel like it's not like bad to have friends that are unbelievers, but I feel like people make it seem like that way. Like, oh, they don't believe.
No.
But how else are they gonna, if they're
Christ.
living in darkness, how are they gonna see the light if you
can't.
don't come
Yep.
across
Yep.
and if you don't give
Yep.
them the time of day? So
Yeah,
that's
I
what I
literally was gonna
think.
make that point after you.
Like, you don't want to have friends that are all like you know.
You can't really
You
grow.
want, yeah, you can't grow from them. If me and Jaden are the same exact person, how are we supposed to help each other grow? And like it says, iron sharpens iron. We need each other to sharpen each other and to be like, hey, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I think for unbelievers, like, just be your authentic self and truly just love them. And don't
Love
like
God, love
push
people.
it on them like you need to believe
Yeah,
or
it's
you're
not.
like make them feel guilty.
Because, like, reverse the roles. Imagine them, like, being like, God is fake, God isn't real, like, you did all this, no, no, no. It's like, dude, like, I believe what I believe. Like, at the same point, like, they're gonna believe what they're gonna believe, but how you live your life and the actions that you do is gonna show them Christ. And you don't need to, like, shove it down their throat. Like, they can just see it with how you live, or they should be able to see it with how you're living
Yeah.
your life.
And also, if they're like, hey, we should go do this, and it's something that you're totally against, just be like, no, I'll go out, I'll hang out with you guys another time.
Oh, hey,
Like, oh,
like,
no, I'm not down with that.
yeah, sorry, no, but we can do this tomorrow, or we can
Yeah.
do this another day. Like, something that,
Like, also,
just
if you're
stay
not
firm.
strong enough, don't go in a situation where you'll be tempted and you'll be like,
Mhm.
maybe I could just do it this
Yeah,
one time,
yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
Just stick to
Stand
your
firm.
guns. Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I hope we answered your question well
I
enough.
like that.
Yeah, that was a good question.
Okay.
And then also it just leaves the door open for them to ask you
Hey,
what you
what's so
believe.
different about you? Like, how come you're not drinking?
Or
How
not
come you
even
don't
like
cuss? Like,
what's so different, just like them knowing you're a Christian and also you not hiding it.
yeah.
Like be authentic. Don't hide.
I'm Christian.
Don't be a chameleon.
Yeah. Are you a thermostat or thermometer? That's what I was thinking of.
I always forget what one is which though.
A thermostat sets the
Sets the
temperature.
temperature,
A thermometer reads
reads it.
temperature.
So you don't want to be, I can never get that
thermometer.
word. Thermometer.
Mom.
Mom.
Itter.
Itter.
Thermometer.
Thermometer. Hey! You don't want to be that because my dad would always say this at Granada and Fit. You don't want to be someone that just reads the room and is like a chameleon. You want to be able to set the temperature. You want to be different.
Mm-hmm.
Bring that joy.
Yep.
Because you don't want to be the one bringing
Be infectious with
You don't-
love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus is love.
Yep. Tell us a time that you doubted God, but then he turned it around.
Oh, goodness.
Good.
Let's see. Maybe I would say when I just got out of high school and I just didn't really like my life and was living in like pity and sad I didn't have any friends and just thought I'd be lonely for life and then just believing like there's no way that I'm going to find Christian friends. This is funny how we were just talking about like being friends with unbelievers, but there's no way that I'm going to find friends that like to do what I do or are okay with just playing a board game and doing nothing and being like a little grandma or just doing things like little kids, you know? And so I would just always be sad that I didn't have friends or just I was unhappy with my life, didn't like school. And now looking back, so I'd say I doubted like the people that I could meet, you know, through these years and
Mm-hmm.
people he could bring in my life. And now I look and I see the people that he has brought in my life and I'm like, dang, why did I doubt that I wouldn't find
Yeah.
friends that we like
Yeah, are
enjoy each
like-minded.
other's company and are like-minded. That's definitely a time. And then I think another time I doubted God was when we did the healing service. My dad asked us to pray over people and immediately we were like, we're doing
Yeah.
it because we were like,
There's no doubt.
yeah. But I think the morning of, I was just like, oh goodness, like when I pray, when am I going to pray? And then I started comparing me and Jaedyn, which we just learned about last week. Don't compare. But I'm like, oh my gosh, Jaden's going to be so much better than me at praying. And then I'm just going to be at like, And so I definitely doubted how he could use us through that. Not that I didn't believe that like healing
could do
couldn't
it?
be brought. Yeah, that God couldn't heal when we were praying over those people and they needed healings in their life or like restoration. But I was just nervous in my ability.
Mhm.
And I think I know and I heard the good news and the good reports from the people who we prayed over and seeing how God worked in their life. And that was just like,
Wow.
why did I doubt God could use me? And like, why did I doubt myself?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah. What would you say?
I would say that same experience really, like, I was doubting myself and like God's ability to use me really, and like me being a vessel. And once like being a vessel for God, like being someone who God can speak through and use is really like just it grows your relationship with God because you see it in such a different light. Like you see like God can use people through other people's actions, but like with my own action, it's so different. And so like that morning of, it was the same thing. I was like, oh gosh, like here we go. Like doubting myself, like doubting, not doubting God's ability, but doubting like, are you sure this is us? Like me you want to be using? Like really? And then like just seeing that praise report come back and like the glory being able to be given back to God was so important and so cool. And then also with like my dad and like sickness and stuff, like just that whole season, like just felt so long and so draining where I was just kind of like doubting God's ability to like bring life back into everything. And then like I just remember like breaking down and crying and just being like, dude, like what the heck? Not like dude to God, sorry God, but like what the heck? And then like just like that continuous prayer and that continuous like going back to him and like trying to surrender what I have like every time because like you surrender then like you take a little back you leave a little there and you're like okay, then like just having to go back every time with that and like I still have to go back with things that surround that because it's just like a hard situation. Surrendering is hard, but like I'm still doing that. But like seeing life being brought back into like my life and my dad's life and like everything and just like the joy from it was like very like to me now I'm like how silly of me to think that like to not trust God's plan or like be like I don't even see how this can like work out like like just kind of doubt the goodness that could come from things and the glory that could be given back to God.
Does ministry ever burn you out? If so, what about it burned you out? That's not what that said. Does ministry ever burn you out? If so, what about it burned you out? Wait, didn't I just say that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I just guessed at the last portion of the question.
I would say for a season we were kind of burnt out in this, just not wanting to really give effort, honestly. And I would say what burnt me out was just like the time put into it, really. Just like my selfish motives. Really like trying not to. Really me not wanting to give my time to God and allow him to use me in ways that he needs to use me. And since like and since we've been restored and our passion for this has come back, every time before we pray, I just say like, or every time before we like, if it's that day, if it's that morning, I'm driving in to work, like from my house, I'll just pray like, Lord, use me as a vessel, use me, speak through me, give me the words that you want to speak instead of making it more about me. Because I feel for that season where it was iffy for us.
You're doing a great job. Yeah, she's trying not to say like.
If when it was iffy for us, I wasn't. I was being very selfish through it all. And having that come to Jesus moment where it was honestly just, this isn't about me at all. Like, it's not about my time. It's not about your time. It's about God's time and it's about us. Like, this is us also spending time with God, I really feel like, because he speaks through us through this and he uses us through this podcast and we're connecting with God through this. And so just seeing it as something different rather than not a waste of my time. That's not what I meant to say at all. As a place where I'm just like coming to do it. I'm like, well, I commit to this and now I have to do it. And rather being, oh, I'm excited to do this. I get to film today. I get to speak. God gets to use me instead of just like my selfishness. What'd you say?
I would say with the podcast for sure. I think for me, it was not necessarily, I guess, in a certain way, the time, because there's a lot that goes behind the scenes. You have to pick the topic, and you have to like meditate on the topic and know what you're going to say, because I can't just sit here and not know what the word says or be blind leading the blind. And then, not saying you guys are blind, but And then also like the editing, and it's just a big thing. And then there's just always like a roadblock in the way. And that's just what made me worn out. And I just didn't want to do it. I didn't like doing it because also I'm very much of a perfectionist. So we would wrap an episode, we'd finish, and right after I'd be like, I hated it.
Immediately.
I was like, I didn't
Camera
like
cut.
it. I was like, I don't. Voice crack. I was like, I do not think I did good. But I still had to put it out there because we didn't have time to refilm. Like, I can't refilm every single episode. And so for me, I was very hard on myself. And then I just had to realize, like, one, it's not about me and not everything has to be perfect. And even in episodes where I felt like I didn't do good or say what I needed to say, people got something from it. And I'm like, oh, wow. Where I think I was just doubting myself and my abilities. And so that's something that burnt me out because I wasn't believing in myself or believing in us necessarily. Yeah. Okay, we have two more questions.
How has your relationship grown from the beginning of the year to now? Like, what is different about it?
I would say I definitely feel like like I said, I definitely trust in the Lord more and have more faith in Him. And just, I've just seen things that He's worked out just from the beginning of this year to now and how He's shaped me. And I truly believe that His plan is better now. Whereas in the beginning of this year, I was still like you said, surrendering it, but trying to hold on a little, thinking like I can be in control and being just holding on so tightly and being like, no, God's plan. This sounds crazy. Not that it wasn't good, but my plan's just as good. Like just let me hold on to it. I think this is the best way to go for my life, or do this, this, this. Where if I look back, even in like last year or at the beginning of this year, I thank God He didn't let me do certain things or go through with certain things or protected me through certain things, because I don't even know where my relationship would be with Him now. And I don't even know if I would be truly happy or have joy. And I think through this year, I've just learned to be content. I think that's the biggest lesson I've learned, is being content in every season of life and in the day-to-day life, even when sometimes I'm not doing something fun and I'm just working or just going to school. Being content through everything and knowing that like every day I have a purpose and every day I can still be a light to anyone around me. So I don't even remember what the question was. What was the
How has your
question?
relationship grown from the beginning of the year to now?
I think just being more content with what God has for me and being like, okay, if it doesn't go my way, whatever. I know God's got me. How would you say your relationship has grown?
I would say my I would say that my trust in the Lord and how faithful He is, and like the way it has just boosted my confidence in Him has grown significantly just from these past 7 months. I'm trying to think of what I want to say. Just the word confidence like fell over my heart, I would say, in June, maybe the beginning of June. And I just felt such peace about everything in my life, the way that I just know that God will always provide for me. That's really been my big thing lately. It's like I just know that He will provide for me no matter what. And knowing it, I knew that God could do it before, but now it's like believing it, that difference.
Yeah.
So just say my confidence in God has grown immensely.
I like that. Okay. This is the last question, and I remember it by heart. Who is your hero and why? And it cannot be Jesus, because that's
Duh.
obviously.
Yeah.
Jane's having a hard time thinking. Who's someone that really impacted your life or has helped like shape you, or I don't know. That is a hard
I feel like
question.
it's hard because it's hard because it's not just one person. But at
Well,
the same time, I
just
know
try and pick
that
one person.
I know.
It is hard.
I would say my Uncle Darren, in the way that he's always just had my back and been by my side. Now I'm gonna cry.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry. My dad's gonna cry.
Don't cry.
She doesn't cry. You're making me
This is
cry.
weird.
It's okay, go on.
Um,
Go on.
I haven't cried in so long. Just the way that he's always had my back for me and supported me and been there for me through everything. This is weird.
This is weird. Oh gosh.
Yes. But it's probably my Uncle Darren and just how he's poured life into me always.
Okay. I would say the first person that comes to my mind is my older brother Darren, because just as a little girl, he was like my protector and just the one I would run to in times of fear. And I think that he really helped me not to let fear hold me back. And when I said like, okay, when I got baptized for the second time and I went up there and I was like, I'm not letting fear hold me back. And I said it in front of the whole church. And then a couple weeks later, I didn't want to do something because of fear. And he was like, no, you said you're not going to let fear control you. And so I think that he's definitely like pushed me to not live in fear. And I just remember it being a little girl having nightmares, and his room was like a doorway, and I would just run in his room, and then I would just sleep in his bed with him. And he was in what?
High school.
High school, maybe? Or even, yeah, high school, college. And like, I'm waking up in the middle of the night running to his room. Like, I think I would be annoyed. Yeah, waking him up. But I would definitely say him, and just helping me to be better in that and just not letting anxiety have control.
Yeah, it's good.
Whoa, got emotional there for a sec.
Weird.
Okay, so that concludes all the questions you had for us. So we hope we answered them to your liking, and I hope you got a nugget from at least one of them. If you have any more questions, let us know. And yeah, we did not choose a song of the week. Okay, guys, let's just see what song
Let's hit
pops up
shuffle.
first. Ready? I'm going to hit shuffle. We already did that one. Shuffle again. Refiner by
Boom.
Maverick City. That is the next song of the week. This song of the week. Also, we have some news.
Very serious announcement.
Very serious announcement. Me and Jaedyn are splitting apart.
Or how to be a new podcast called Disconnected.
Kidding.
Just kidding.
Okay, guys. So for the month of August, and because we're going back to school and everything, and it was kind of hard to juggle the podcast with school, we are only going to be posting every 2 weeks. So the episodes will come out twice a month. So yeah, because tomorrow is the 31st. So it will come out.
Not the 7th.
So the next episode will drop on the 14th. And then the next episode after that will drop on the 28th. And then it will always be the second week of August and the last week. Or not of
the
August.
second week of the month.
Yes.
The second and fourth week of the month.
So we're just going to be switching over to that. So just know that. Sorry, guys, if you look forward to listening to us every Thursday. But it's just easier that way. And then we could better prepare ourselves for the episodes and make sure that we're giving you more and not just half.
Mm-hmm.
And now, remember to stay connected to each other. Stay connected to us. And most importantly, stay connected to the vine. Bye, guys.
Be the light.